China is fixated on annexing Taiwan despite island's election results in 2024, General Li. U.S. considers further curbs on Chinese chipmakers. In a think tank event held on June 29th, former Taiwan Chief of General Staff General Li Si-ming said that China's regime had set a plan to invade Taiwan despite the island's presidential election results next year. According to Taiwan News, Li believes that the outcome of the election will not be able to change China's regime policy towards Taiwan because the Chinese dream justifies CCP's General Secretary Xi Jinping's absolute terms. Li added the reasons to bolster his statement. He argued that without invading Taiwan, China's regime will not be able to claim that it has achieved the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. Therefore, Xi will not change his mind or whole plan no matter who becomes president of Taiwan next year. Li continued that some still believe that as long as Taiwan does not declare independence, the CCP will not invade the island. But according to Li, the CCP will still invade Taiwan, it's just a matter of when. The former Taiwan chief of the General Staff believes that Beijing does not accept indefinitely maintaining the status quo of the Taiwan Strait. Regarding what Taiwan should do to deal with the threat posed by China's regime, Li suggested that Taiwan should set up an entirely voluntary self-defense force. As this force grows larger, Taiwan can demonstrate to the world the strong fighting spirit of the Taiwanese. Li also called on the U.S. to clearly demonstrate its readiness to defend Taiwan to help raise the morale of the island's military. In a 60 Minutes interview last October, Li said Taiwan should buy more Javelin and Stinger missiles and drones. Taiwan's military has ordered some of the weapons Li mentioned, but he considers them not enough. Li said Taiwan needs to get more weapons quickly because we don't have time to waste anymore.
The U.S. is currently evaluating additional measures to restrict the Chinese regime's ability to obtain crucial technology, including imposing limitations on selling high-end chips used in artificial intelligence applications. These potential restrictions aim to tighten controls on the export of advanced chips produced by companies such as NVIDIA and Advanced Micro Devices, which are essential for the data centers powering artificial intelligence systems. According to the New York Times, U.S. officials have expressed concerns that China's advancements in artificial intelligence could pose national security risks by bolstering Beijing's military capabilities and security infrastructure. Of particular worry is the potential use of AI in weapon guidance, cyber warfare, and facial recognition systems for tracking dissidents and minority populations. In October, the U.S. imposed export restrictions on American chip-making tools to China, citing national security grounds. They also sought to persuade other countries with key suppliers to adopt similar restrictions. Reuters reports that the U.S. and the Netherlands plan to impose further constraints on Chinese chipmakers this summer, focusing on limiting chip-making equipment sales. The Dutch government intends to announce new regulations on June 30th, including licensing requirements for ASML's deep ultraviolet, or DUV, semiconductor equipment, which will impact certain Chinese facilities. Additionally, the U.S. is expected to use its authority to withhold more Dutch equipment, including ASML's older DUV models, from specific Chinese fabs. The new U.S. rule, expected to be published by late July, will demand licenses for exporting equipment to half a dozen Chinese facilities, including one operated by SMIC, China's largest chip maker. Licensing for shipping equipment to those facilities is anticipated to be denied.
On June 25th, in a circulated video, a self-proclaimed farmer asked, "Today people of all kinds have strange diseases. Why?" The man alleges that rice grown in the region is cultivated using chemicals instead of traditional manure. It's not that farmers don't want to use manure, it's that we don't have any. The video has gathered attention on social media platforms, with netizens sharing their thoughts. It's true, if chemicals are used on crops, all classes of society will get cancer. That's not capitalism, that's a demon. The party is systematically destroying the Chinese people from all aspects, including biology, chemistry, society, law. The land belongs to the party is the evil of destruction. Farmers are just enslaved people in the natural environment and can only use the land according to the party's directives. Another video released on June 25th by Nobita's Smile features Wu Jiangtao, the deputy head of the neurosurgery department at Henan Provincial Workers Hospital. Dr. Wu said, "Why are the patients' living conditions improving, but the frequency of hospital visits increasing? Diseases comes from the mouth. Cultivating tomatoes that are not red enough must use ethylene. Potatoes that are not big enough must use growth stimulants. Currently, more than 1,800 kinds of additives are used for all kinds of foods. People want to eat clean food, but do not have it." Dr. Wu also highlights the prevalence of Parkinson's disease among his patients, with over 80% of those affected being farmers. He noted there are more than 1,000 kinds of pesticides in China, but only 20 kinds of pests. China's annual pesticide usage is 3.37 million tons, subjecting farmers to daily exposure to pesticide-contaminated environments. In a separate video, a Chinese man diagnosed with lung cancer tearfully said, "The excessive use of pesticides in China, suppressing the combined figures of the rest of the world. We are like the meat lying on the cutting board, forced to consume poisonous food despite being aware of its harmful effects. What should we do? What should our children and grandchildren do? If we could use the remaining week life to wake up a few people, I will do it too." Some netizens lamented, "Poisoning ourselves. It's worse than drugs." Amidst the rising concerns over toxic food in mainland China, ordinary citizens have no choice but to consume it for survival. In contrast, high-ranking officials of the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, enjoy access to a clean and safe food supply. It is widely known that certain food supply stores are off-limits to the general public, further solidifying the disparity. In 2005, the Chinese State Council established a special food supply center exclusively catering to central state agencies, offering safe and high-quality organic food for the CCP cadres. The Food Supply Center ensures the cultivation of vegetables, fruits, and livestock in a natural environment free from pesticides, fertilizers, growth promoters, chemical additives, preservatives, GMO techniques, and pollution.